Hey everyone, and welcome. Have you ever wanted to just start speaking Arabic, like right now? Well, today we are doing exactly that. We're going to break down the absolute fundamentals from the first 3 lessons of the legendary Madinah Book 1. We are building your very first sentences from scratch. You ready? Let's get into it.
So, let's just start with a really simple, practical question. Imagine you're walking around, you see something new, and you want to point to it and ask, "What is that?" How would you do it in Arabic? Stick with me, because by the end of this, you'll know exactly how.
All right, our journey begins with a single, super important word. This is the first building block for pretty much any simple sentence where you're identifying something that's right there in front of you, and that word is hada.
Now, hada is a very specific word. It means this is, and you only use it for things that are singular, masculine, and close by. You can really just think of it as your verbal pointing finger for anything near you.
Let's see it in action. Okay, so if you're standing right in front of a house, you can just say, "Hada baitun." It's that simple, right? Hada, this is. Baitun, a house. This is a house.
Let's try one more, just to lock it in. Say you pick up a pen. What do you say? You got it. Hada qalamun. This is a pen. See that pattern? You're literally already forming complete Arabic sentences.
Okay, so you can point at stuff and say what it is. That's awesome. But what if you don't know what it is? Well, for that, we're going to need a couple of question words, specifically for asking what and who. And here is the key difference you have to remember. For objects, for things, you use ma. So you'd ask, ma hada, what is this? But if you're talking about a person, you have to use man. You'd ask man hada, who is this? It's a really important distinction for asking the right question.
Excellent. So we've totally mastered things that are right here, nearby. But, what about something that's across the room or way down the street? For that, we need a new word. We need a word for that.
So it all comes down to distance. Hada is for what's near you. Dhalika is for what's far away. So if that house we talked about is down the street, it's no longer hada baitun, now it's dhalika baitun. That is a house. Simple as that.
Okay, get ready for a total game changer. So far, we've only been saying a house, a pen. But how do we get specific and say the house or the pen? This brings us to one of the most important concepts in all of Arabic, the definite article.
Okay, so check this out. The indefinite word, baitin, ends with that un sound. That's called a tenween. Now, to make it definite, to make it the house, we do 2 things. First, we add al to the beginning, and second, we drop the n sound from the end, changing un to just u. So baitin becomes al-baitu.
But, of course, there's a little twist to this rule, a cool one. That L sound you hear in al, well, sometimes it just disappears, and it all depends on the very next letter in the word. This is where we get into something called sun and moon letters. Let's break it down. Here's how it works in 3 easy steps. First, you just look at the letter right after al. Now, if it's a moon letter, like in the Arabic word for moon, al-kamaru, you can clearly hear that L. But if it's a sun letter, like in the word for sun, ash-shamsu, the L goes silent, and you basically just double the sha sound instead.
And here they are. This right here is your cheat sheet. You've got the 14 moon letters where you say the L and the 14 sun letters where you don't. This is one of those fundamental rules for sounding right when you speak Arabic, so this slide is pure gold.
All right, we have one last tool to add to your toolkit for today. We know how to ask what and who. But how do we ask a super simple yes or no question, like, is this a house?
Believe it or not, it is incredibly simple. You just take this little particle, which is just the letter aleph with a hamza on top, and you pop it right at the very beginning of a statement. That's it. It's like a magic wand that instantly turns a statement into a question.
So let's take our very first sentence, hada baitin, which means this is a house. Now just add that to the front, and what do you get? A hada baitin? Is this a house? It's honestly that easy.
And of course, a question needs an answer, right? To say yes, you say nam. And to say no, you say la. And just like that, you now have everything you need for a basic real-world conversation.
So let's put it all together. You've learned all the individual pieces. Now let's see how they all click together in a little mini conversation. Time to practice.
Okay, first question for you. You see something far off in the distance, and you don't know what it is. How do you ask? Ma dhalika?
What is that?
And the answer comes back, Valeka najmun. That is a star. See, we're using Valeka because the star is far away, and najmun for a star. Perfect.
Okay, now for a follow-up, a confirmation question. You see a figure in the distance and you want to check. You might ask, Adhaika rajulun. Is that a man?
And the response might be a correction. La, no, dhalik waladin. That is a boy. And just like that, you've asked a question, gotten an answer, asked a follow-up, and understood a correction. That's a real conversation.
So there you have it. You've got this and that, what and who, how to say the, and how to ask a yes or no question. These really are the absolute essential building blocks of Arabic. The foundation is officially laid. So the only question left is, what are you going to build with them?